Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have a couple more excellent stories, especially for you. And let's start with a story about a lady who can't tell the difference between a hotel visitor and a valet. Sure, I'll take your car. Before we begin, I should mention this is my dad's story. Back in the 90s, he used to travel for work, and as such, he would stay in a number of hotels. One trip, he stayed in downtown Toronto for about a week, and one night he returned rather late from a convention he'd attended. His normal work attire was a black polo and dress pants, but with a company logo on the left side in bright, bold letters. While entering the hotel lobby, an older lady practically threw her keys at my dad. "Bring it around for me." "I'm sorry, bring what?" "Not right now, son. It's late and my husband is expecting me. Now bring it around for me, like a good valet." Dad realizes he's dressed almost identically to this hotel's bellman and valets and attempts to correct her. "Oh, I apologize. I'm just on my way in myself. I need to—" "I don't care about your private life. You're on duty, and if you want your tip, you'll park my car." My dad was having none of it, was feeling pretty tired, and finally had enough of this lady. "Absolutely, miss. I'll have your car around for you right this minute." "About time. I'll be waiting with my husband right there for you." Once she's walked off to join her husband, my dad goes to the front desk and tells the agent that he's just found some keys in the lot and is returning them. The agent thanks him and off he goes to sleep. 2 days later, he's checking out, and who shows up but the old lady at the desk? "How dare you steal my keys? I should have you arrested." "Steal? You gave me your keys when I tried leaving for my room, and you wouldn't listen. Tough luck." And with that, he left in his own car, leaving her in a trail of tears, hopefully. She's lucky that's all he did. Front desk isn't too far from the sewerage. And our second story for today. I don't work here. This is my lounge room, and I'm trying to watch TV. Years ago, I had a different landline number and started to get all these calls demanding to speak to the boss of Access Chemicals. It got tiring. I didn't want to answer my phone because it was getting a little anxiety-provoking. Then one day, Karen calls. "Are you the manager?" "The manager of what?" "Access Chemicals. We had a rude delivery guy boss the reception ladies around." Sorry, you've been had." "Excuse me, did you just interrupt me?" "I'm just trying to say this is my own private number, and you've got a fake invoice from a fake company." "Well, anyway, now that you've stopped interrupting me, I'll explain. The rude delivery guy demanded a cash check from our company for a bunch of cleaning chemicals he was delivering, but we didn't order it." "I'm sitting in my lounge room." "Okay, but we'd like to speak to the manager to complain about your delivery staff and arrange a refund." I hang up. I was watching live TV. This is back before I even owned a VHS. Karen calls back. "Did you just hang up on me?" "Yes, I'm not Access Chemicals. You've been had. I'm trying to watch my show." And I hang up again. Karen calls back again. "Can you stop hanging up on me? I don't understand. Why are you watching TV when I've asked you to put me through to the manager?" "Because I'm done with work today. And I'm not at work. I'm at home, in my lounge room, trying to watch TV. Even though the number on your invoice is actually my number, the whole thing is fake. You've been had." "So it is your number. Okay then, let me tell you that these chemicals are crap. They don't even seem to clean." This new detail nearly made me laugh out loud. "But it's a fraud." "Really? You're admitting it?" "No, I'm telling you, I get these calls all the time and someone has ripped you off using my phone number." "But you said it's your number." I hung up again and ignored my phone the rest of the night. Another time I had a Gary shouting that he was going to call the police, complain to the ombudsman, etc., 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 and I just gave up and said, "Fine, do it, please. Find these people and put them in jail. I'm sick of my number being misused on these invoices. I'm in my lounge room trying to have dinner. Goodbye." This guy ended up doing some research and got back to me a few days later to apologize and explain more about the scam he'd learned, and that he had reported it. It stopped after about 2 months. Probably 10 to 15 different businesses got scammed across that time. Fun times. I mean, what are you meant to do? Go over the whole story each and every time because people are a bit irate and not thinking clearly? At that point, I think I would make a recording of myself explaining crap and put it on an answering machine. After that, it's in their hands, not mine. And our next story. Night of the Living Karens. A little about me. I'm a CEO running 4 retail shops that cater to sporting goods. They heavily focus on hunting, but is not limited to hunting. The coronavirus pandemic has just kicked in, and I put in a full 16 hours checking inventory, doing the billing and payroll. I decided to stop and shop for dinner at Walmart. I walk in wearing a black shirt that says, "My rights don't end where your feelings begin," with a Gadsden flag on it. On the back, I had a custom print done saying, "My rights are not up for negotiation until you give up your car with the number of people who die in car accidents and think of the children under it." I hit the pre-made salad and sandwich island. Nothing. I move around to the burrito area. I hear an ahem behind me. I figured I was in the way and moved out of the way. I hear the annoyed ahem again, followed by an irate voice of a wild Karen. "You should at least acknowledge me, sir." I look up and she begins to ask me if I'm going to make any more sandwiches. I say, "Madam, I don't work here." I do know, however, the sandwich people are gone for the day. They'll have more in the morning. So she storms off, talking to herself that I was a rude associate. I shrug and continue shopping for my dinner. I move over to the pizza section and there's nothing. Yet while I'm there, I get yelled at by another Karen. She demanded to know why I was out of uniform and that I almost ran her over despite keeping the 6-foot social distance. I politely tell her, "Madam, I don't work here." I then mosey off before she can speak to me further. While walking away, I hear her gasp and explain loudly to someone that I was very rude to her. In the frozen food aisle, looking for at least a bag of French fries or tater tots or even a frozen pizza, I hear another ahem behind me. I push forward thinking I'm in the way again. I hear another ahem followed by a hand on my shoulder. It's a Chad and a Karen. Chad is the one grabbing my shoulder. I push his hand off and turn to face him, telling him that if he can touch me, he's within the state-mandated 6-foot distance and to piss off. He recoils in horror and his Karen gasps. He demands to speak to my manager. I tell him I don't work here. You can talk to the manager all you want. I then walk away as they storm off to the customer service center. I finally find food for dinner, a frozen bag of veggies and frozen chicken strips in the next aisle. I move on and grab some trail mix for breakfast and lunch tomorrow for work. I head to the sporting goods section to look at their pew-pew materials. I can sometimes find cheaper there than my own shops. I buy 3 boxes of 12G turkey pew-pew materials, the last 3 there. I hear a Chad behind me howl in disgust. "Why are you buying those? You work here. Paying customers first. Those are mine by right," he legit shouts. I turn and politely tell him that yes, paying customers first, and I am a customer who just bought them. I don't work here. His pet Karen chimes up. "You certainly do work here. I see you here all the time." I explain I don't work here. I'm the owner of blank business. I then walk away, leaving them fuming. The poor girls with the key to the pew-pew materials cabinet chimes up. "He don't work here." They go off yelling at her about how she's covering for a thieving employee who's taking from customers to be a rude, greedy person. I stop by the office supplies and electronics to pick up some goodies. I then remember something from my list back in the food section. I go to get English muffins. I don't see the kind that I like, but I see the honey wheat ones, and I grab 3 for the gazillion eggs I got at home. A wild Karen freaks out on me. "You're an employee. You shouldn't be hoarding stuff." I politely tell her I don't work here, and exasperated ask, why does everyone think I'm an employee? I'm clearly not dressed like an employee. Everyone must either be drunk or their parents are brother and sister and stuck on stupid. She comes back with, "Why else would you be in Walmart?" I walk away laughing and retort, "Well, you must be a Walmart employee too. Why else would you be in Walmart?" So I'm looking over jewelry when Chad from Sporting Goods walks up and reaches into my carriage, taking out the 3 boxes of 12G turkey pew-pews. This was seen by Mark. Mark is the 62-year-old store manager who's being followed by no less than 10 people, all pointing at me, saying that I was the rude employee who they'd been snubbed by. The Chad, caught red-handed, claims I stole them out of his cart. Mark listens to them and all their complaints while keeping a smile. As they each said their piece, he proudly declares to the group, some of which had people who didn't even talk to me upset about my choice of attire, that I don't work there and never have. That I'm a regular customer, but I own a number of sporting goods stores. And that he had bought a turkey scatter pew for his nephew to hunt with directly from me, and saw me walk out of the office of the store. Many grumble and accuse him of playing favorites and protecting his employee vowing to complain to corporate and never shop there again before disbanding. Mark turns to the Chad, still holding the 3 boxes of my turkey pew-pews. You come with me. I follow Mark, and Mark reviews the camera footage to determine who the boxes belong to. I even provide my receipt because I never walk away from sporting goods without paying. Mark turns to me and asks if I want to press charges. I agree and wait for the police. Chad's arrested, and I fill out my witness statement. Mark does so as well and turns over a copy of the security footage and a photocopy of my receipt. I pay for my things, and Mark compensated me with 3 bags of trail mix for the insanity of the store. We jokingly exchange some talk about our respective businesses in the chaos. I wave and tell Mark I'll see him later to drop by the shop that his other pew-pew spewer had come in, and I'll throw in a goodie bag for him to thank him for the extra trail mix. I left having survived the night of the living Karens in one piece. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.